Hello all, welcome back to another Hang Loose Recluse video. In today's video I'm going to talk about the Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin interview. Now I'm sure you all are aware of it by now that there's going to be an interview released. It's going to be released very soon actually. Now let's read some of the comments from Australian media, as some of the Australian media outlets have started to promote this. Now apparently the mainstream media of the United States is going crazy over this because, they've got to try and make it look like it's for the worst thing ever. Now, Vladimir Putin, because he hasn't been interviewed since 2021. But let's get straight to the comments. This is from the Australian video comments, so check out the comments now. Now, let's just get into it. This one here says, the fact that every mainstream Western media outlet and politician is losing their minds over this tells me all that I need to know. Now, remember that Australia exiled Wilfred Burchett for 17 years for doing similar? It's a brave person who dares deliver a counter-narrative. Sneeze. Another one. Thank you. All right. Here's another one here. NATO is not happy. Watch out for F-16 around the borders. All the questions in an interview will be questions in later hearings. Another comment is, yes, I'm very interested in hearing what Mr. Putin has to say. I've heard Zelensky, heard Biden, and I saw no diplomacy. Just war. Thank you, Tucker, for doing this. Another comment says, I hope the media is not trying to give Tucker Carlson the Julian Assange treatment. Of course they are. They don't like the idea that he's doing this. The media would never interview the Russian president because we all know who controls the mainstream media, the government. That's right. What's this? Next one says, champion of the people, American hero. Yeah, because he's showing the whole story. Next one is amazing. I'm looking to hear from Putin and what he has to say. Everyone knows that there is always two sides to every story. I want to hear the Russian side and make my own decision afterwards. Thanks to Tucker, Elon, and folks like Jimmy Dore. Now the comment says, I read that Zelensky just bought a luxury apartment in Dubai in December 23. Time for evacuations, or time to evacuations. Another one says, thanks for this information. I hadn't heard anything about the interview. Maybe you are the first account to give Tucker some free advertising. So the Australian magazine or newspaper video just gave someone a nod that that's going to take place and it's happening very soon. So check the full interview out whenever you get a chance. Another comment says, if he's been attacked for doing this interview, it means they are trying to hide something. No doubt. Another comment is, doesn't matter enemies or friends, you should use chances to approach them. From that, it will help you to have methods to cope and behave with them. Knowing better than unknowing, Tucker Carlson carried out the duty of a journalist. Why EU and some Americans cry out? Yeah, because it's the mainstream media controlled by the government. What happens when the mainstream media goes to a political press conference? Not much, because all the questions are prepared. That's right, prepared earlier by the government. Anyway, what's up here? We've got can't wait for this interview with Mark Smith. Another one says, I think we can all agree that it was a wonderful thing that little Rupert fired Tucker when he did. Fantastic news. Another comment comes through. The Western propaganda machine will need some oil. Thanks, Tucker. I am tired of listening to Russophobic interviews by non-impartial and biased media. Another one says, in mass media interviews, Putin will talk at length, in detail, without pumping out rehearsed lines, completely unlike Western politicians. You don't have to like him or agree with him, but he is one of the most open world leaders when it comes to speaking his mind. Another one says, what is the American government and media so afraid of? Tells you a lot. Can't wait to hear the interview. Mr. Carlson, you are the best. When they fear what this man has to say means that he likely has something worth listening to. This is why censorship works so badly. The more you try to censor something tells me you fear the information, which tells me it's probably going to uncover a truth you try to bury. Now, I really want to listen to what he has to say. Another one says, this is real journalism. The problem is that people don't want to be informed. Fake news is on fire, and they are on fire. They're trying to word it so it's Tucker Carlson's a bad guy for doing this interview. Now, if the mainstream media had an opportunity to do it, would they? Of course they would have, but they would have taken a snippet, the 1 minute snippet that they wanted and ran with that story, whereas Tucker's going to show you the whole story. Anyway, I love Tucker for the very principle of freedom and respect that he brings us to inform us without slavery and dictation. We are descendants of our forefathers who delivered us from the very slavery we are seeing and suffering today. Says somebody there. My friend, we are not as free as you are talking about. We don't have any choice sometimes and have to follow the things they are telling us. Absolutely the right thing to do, Tucker Carlson. Let the world hear both sides of the story, not the mainstream bought media pushing an agenda. Good luck, Tucker. Go for it. Bring the truth to the world. I will surely believe everything come out of Putin's mouths. Yeah, but that's not the point there, mate. I know what you're saying there. That's right. But the thing is, the mainstream media won't do this story. They won't run a story like this. If they got a full interview like 60 Minutes style, they'd only show you like a 5-minute segment of it and always pick the worst stuff rather than showing you the full interview, because the mainstream media doesn't show you the full interviews when they do full interviews. Ask the mainstream media why you never see the full interview. Why don't they ever show you the full interview of things? Because it's propaganda, the Western media that's being brainwashed upon you people that watch the mainstream media. You only see the 1-minute snippet and they have the narrative and the story they want to tell you. Anyway, and it's a world scandal. That's right, it is a world scandal, according to the mainstream media. The fact that someone like Tucker is able to get this interview and they're going to try and make him out to be the bad guy. What's this best journalist on the planet? Tucker Carlson. Another one, well done, Tucker Carlson. Truth always prevails. Fox News regrets firing Tucker. Hundreds of people have interviewed Putin. Why does Tucker think he's... No, it's since the war there, Stephen Brown. No one's interviewed Putin since October 2021, which is before the war started, because Western media obviously have no interest. They only want to interview Biden or Zelensky and then tell you that story and go with that flow, because that's the way they brainwash the citizens. Even Australian citizens are brainwashed with it. Anyway, the mainstream media, we hating some of these comments because it is the truth. It's the truth. Mainstream media is kicking up a stink about it, trying to call it that it's espionage and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, Tucker Carlson's gone to get an interview. He's got the interview. He's just going to show you the full interview. You can work it out for yourself and whatever. The fact that he's got it and they're already crying about it before it's even gone to air shows you what you need to know. The mainstream media already has a narrative that they're going to shut this down and try and make it that's worse than it actually is. But the fact is, the mainstream media are scared because it just highlights more and more how fake and fucked up the mainstream media really is. Anyway, this has been another English Recluse production. Think of it as you will. Thank you.